Hello and welcome to another episode of Words of Paradise. It's your host, Leon Idle, and oh my goodness, I love seeing politicians roasted. I don't care if it's the left or the right. There's something about hopping on Twitter, seeing a politician said something, going into their comment section, and just seeing them lambasted by all sorts of different individuals. And that is exactly what happened to California Congressman Lou, over one of his tweets responding to Matt Taibbi. I just wanted to take a look at this, read some comments, give my thoughts, maybe do some follow-ups, because it is honestly quite hilarious. So we see here that Matt Taibbi posted, "Instead of chasing child sex predators or terrorists, the FBI has agents, lots of them, analyzing and mass flagging social media posts, not as part of any criminal investigation, but as permanent in-and self-surveillance operation. People should not be okay with this." Now, for those of you that don't know, what he is referring to is that there were FBI agents who were looking over posts on Twitter, and any FBI agent that saw something just slightly promoting Donald Trump or making Republican jokes or whatever, boosting conservatives, a list was given to Twitter as accounts to keep an eye on. This has been thoroughly documented in the Twitter files, which was handled by Matt Taibbi, Barry Weiss, and some others, both of which are very well known for being nonpartisan reporters. They have done stories on both the left and the right, sometimes damning stories. And so what he's referring to, obviously he is not talking about all FBI. What he's saying is that the FBI was wasting resources when they could have been trying to stop important things like child sex trafficking and child pornography, which was running rampant on Twitter, and Twitter did nothing about. So once again, more information was dropped in the Twitter files. But instead of using resources like that to keep children safe, they were giving information on one or two follower accounts to Twitter for monitoring. So we have Ted Lieu here come back with, "Dear Matt Taibbi, I'm on the House Judiciary Committee that has oversight over the FBI, and you are lying. The FBI has lots of agents chasing child sex predators and terrorists. Please stop undermining and lying about federal law enforcement." Well, first of all, he's not lying. He didn't say no FBI agents are handling child trafficking or exploitation of children. He was using exaggerated emphasis to make a point, which people do all the time. Whenever someone says literally, but they don't mean literally, they're just emphasizing. Like, that's what Matt Taibbi is doing. And I have a feeling Ted Lieu knows that. He just doesn't want to acknowledge it because then he wouldn't have a case to stand on. But regardless of how you feel about either of these interactions or either of these individuals, let's take a look at what folks had to say, because this is where it gets good. "Unfortunately, Matt is not lying. He has all the evidence and laid it out abundant. Where's yours?" No, he didn't lay out evidence. He still can't tell you what percentage of conservative accounts were favored or disfavored over liberal accounts. The actual evidence is that Twitter favors conservatives. That might be the case now with Elon, which I still wouldn't be okay with. I think that it should be equal for both sides. But that absolutely was not the case prior to Elon's takeover, and anyone with half a brain knows that. But let's continue, because that was just, a comment, whatever. Let's see. "Interesting take, Teddy. You and pathological liar pal Adam Schiff spread more BS about collusion in Russia. Your tongues are red. Actual facts are like kryptonite to posers like you. Say hi to Ed Buck for me." No wonder the feds are partners with big tech now. You're the oversight? Your response is straight out of a CCP playbook. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty, communistic response, Chinese response, however you want to look at it. An interesting, fun little comment. "If the FBI has even one agent analyzing and mass flagging social media posts looking for wrong speech instead of finding child predators or conducting actual criminal investigations, that's one too many." Exactly. And that is the point that Matt is trying to make, is that this is farcical and kind of bananas to have the FBI doing just menial, this person posted about this political candidate, you better watch them Twitter just in case, instead of like, "Hey, homeboy's over there diddling kids, let's get him." Like that's what should be happening. But again, child pornography was a huge problem on Twitter, so what are you gonna do? That's the point that Teddy Boy here seems to miss, or accurately ignore. Matt's trying to stay in good with the world's richest man. See, I want to be fair. This is a contrary opinion. This is somebody who is anti-Matt Taibbi. I don't think that's the case, but, that's just me. I think his point was not that the FBI doesn't have anyone chasing child sex predators, but rather these particular agents tasked with reviewing tweets could better be employed. Exactly. That is what Matt is trying to say, is that there should be no reason to look over 2 follower accounts that are trying to talk about how much they love Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis or whoever when there are legitimate bad guys out there. Yes, everyone understood what Matt meant, including Ted, but he could only call Matt the liar if he pretends Matt's saying something else. Yeah, and that's what I said. I mean, to me, it's fairly obvious what Matt means. Like, yeah, you can use the excuse, oh, sometimes tone and nuance is lost through text. I didn't get that here. Maybe I'm just familiar enough with Matt's reporting style, or even just his conversational Twitter style. But to me, it was pretty obvious what he meant. Again, using an over-exaggeration to emphasize a point. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Cernovich. I think that he's the right-wing version of somebody like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, like just far too radicalized to one side, can never admit the other side does something right. So yeah, I mean, I'll read what this says, but I think Cernovich is he's just as bad for the right wing as people like the Squad are for the left. But it says oversight. DOJ has decided not to charge the FBI agents who mishandled the, whatever case this was. I feel like I had heard about this. But again, I don't like giving Cernovich credit. Then again, if he is right, you should give credit where it's due, just like with anybody on either side of the aisle. So that's fair. Oh, speaking of fair, all right, I gotta give it to Cernovich here. What happened here? Jeffrey Epstein, who, by the way, did not kill himself. We still don't know what happened with him, or any of the information, or his little black book of clients. So, yeah, that's a pretty good roast to the guy that oversees the FBI. We all saw Matt's evidence from the Twitter documents. Can't wait to see yours to back up your statements. Exactly. That's the thing. If you read the Twitter files, I shared Twitter files part 4 and 5 with you guys, went over them together, and parts 1, 2, and 3 were also great. I mean, there's things that a lot of us had already known, just no one refused to say out loud, no big news articles decided to actually cover, but we all knew. Point is, yeah, all the information was there. Literal just pages of verifiable information. So, I don't know what Ted Lai is trying to say here. If that's true, how come Twitter was unable to remove CSE at scale before Elon bought it? How come Twitter refused to take down videos of children being abused in the case of John Doe 1 and 2? Yeah, that is the thing that happened. There were children who had become adults, as well as their families, who came forward, said these pictures of me doing, adult activities, we'll say, are of me when I was underage. I want these removed. And Twitter said, nope, they don't violate terms of service. Now, there might be more nuance to that. Maybe they looked different in the photos. Maybe they were, let's say, 16 years old. And the individuals looked 18. There's no way to tell. That's still not okay. We don't want, obviously, child, pornography or anything like that on Twitter. I'm just saying it might be a more nuanced discussion than the news is giving it credit for. But it still is something that happened, and we should not discount the fact that it happened. Thanks for letting everyone know you have no intention of exercising any actual substantive oversight on the FBI and its partisan, censorious interference in American public discourse. And there it is. I agree with this wholeheartedly. The FBI should be nonpartisan. It's a branch of law enforcement. It needs to uphold its duties to the law, regardless of either side of the political aisle. And when you have somebody like this, a Democratic congressman from California who oversees them and is going to bat for them and saying they do nothing wrong, when we have seen time and time again the FBI do things wrong, that should be scary. I'm not saying, oh, a Democrat oversees the FBI, vote Republican. No, I'm sure the FBI lets Republicans get away with shit when the Republicans are in control. I'm sure the FBI lets Democrats get away with shit when the Democrats are in control. It shouldn't be like that either way, is what I'm saying. But yeah, Ted Lai, Lou, had a rough time of it there. A lot of people calling out what seemed to be his bogus. Here's another interesting little tidbit that I want to go over before, wrapping up this video, was this interaction between him and Elon Musk on Twitter. Elon Musk states, Congressman Lou, were you aware of this program and did you approve it? Simple questions require simple answers. He's referring to a program in which the FBI was allowed to monitor social media, report on it, the whole nine. Dear Elon Musk, simple answer. Have you tried reading FBI's mission from 2017? Okay, that's not a simple answer. You answered his question with a question. That's not how conversations work. And a simple question is a simple answer is a yes or a no. And the answer to this is yes. Now, what he goes on to say is, the FBI considers strategic engagement with U.S. technology companies, including threat indicator sharing, to be important in combating foreign influence actors. Foreign influence actors. Every single individual that the FBI, put on the, hey, you should watch these people list, weren't foreign. They were our own American citizens who Twitter got a compiled list of just because they supported a particular side. So he is inherently wrong, or not even wrong, he's lying. He's trying to change the argument and make it sound like the FBI was doing its job when it absolutely wasn't. Not in any way, shape, or form. Spying on your own people, I guess technically might be part of the FBI's job because, all threats, foreign and domestic, we've all heard it in the Hollywood movies time and time again. But that's not what Elon was referring to. And again, he didn't even answer his question, at least not answer it correctly. Simple question requires simple answers. That was not a simple answer. That was an attempt to change the conversation in a way that would spin this to where Ted looks good. And yeah, that's all I've got for this one. I kind of want your guys' opinions. Do you think that maybe Matt Taibbi was lying? Do you think that Congressman Lou is in the right here? Do you think that he deserved the absolute barrage of tweets he got? I mean, I do. I think that politicians are supposed to be for the people, and he clearly is not. So I like to see the people rise up and say, hey, shut the fuck up. It's nice. Please, give me your opinions in the comments below. I really do read them, as well as like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel, so it would mean the world to me. And follow me on Twitter at BoltTheWord. This has been Words of Paradise.